Good morning, guys. I'm going to take you around the yard again. It's one of those first very, very humid days. We had some fierce storms last night, and I love this thing. It's so great. Put the little, remember the little shark? I put him up there. Now, this stuff on the deck here, it was completely covered after the storm. Completely covered with those leaves. And I swept them off and they're all right there. Pretty crazy. That's the tree that leaks the sap. And also all of these petals that you see all over the ground. So, yeah, you can really feel the humidity today. The fern looks very happy here. He's a little tapped down from all the rain, but hello. I'm a baby. I'm a baby. Both of these teddy bears here are from England. They're beautiful. Love them. This little deer was an old neighbor of mine found them in the garbage. He found two of them, one for me, one for him. And I love them. There's one of my gnomes. Another one back there. That one's really old. I've had him forever. This morning, I cut down the wisteria because it was so overloaded on this thing, and it was starting to grow up the house again, so I have to keep on it because it's an absolute weed. Well, it's a vine, and you know how vines are. And it was covering the eagle, so got that all cut down. I'm getting a new chair for over there. Really cool chair. This is that basil that they left out in the freeze that is coming back beautifully. Looks really good. The sun isn't on the fountains yet, but look. That beautiful lily is out. I think it's called a lemon lily. This little guy is so fun. When the wind hits him, he goes erratic because of the springs. These are the blue anemones. Look at the size of it this year. There's one there, one there, one there. This one's the biggest. This one's really happy in its spot. That should, that'll bloom in about, probably a couple weeks. A little bird put a nest in here. I guess it's as good a place as any, right? The oregano is looking amazing. Very into that. I weeded the other day, but I left this because I have no idea what it is. And it's got a million buds on it, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when it flowers. This is my salvia. It didn't come back. I don't know why. I'm really sad about that. The roses are in bloom. The mock orange is just about done, but it smells incredible. I planted onions. I planted onions all around this little guy, white, red, and yellow onions, and they're coming up like Madsville. And I put more onions in here. And one there, a bunch over there, all over there. And this is my garlic. Look at the size of it. It's gonna come up good this year. So this little hook thing, this is where I hang the oregano after I tie it up to dry. Very cool. Did I tell you? I don't know if I told you guys, but the thrift was supposed to open June 1st, remember? They changed that to June 15th, which is kind of a bummer. But that's all right. Next day off is June 19th, so they'll be well open by then. So that's fun. I will definitely be going. There's a couple of things, I don't know, just people might have been cleaning out their yards. I mean, their garages, their basements. Garages are where you find all the good garden stuff. So I'm hoping that starts showing up. That is an ivy form. Do you see his head there? That metal form right there? My neighbor also found that in the garbage and gave it to me because he knows I have a ton of ivy. The ivy completely covered his body. It's a really big form. It just never went up his head, which is okay because I kind of like his head like that. Do you remember the Firestone Walker Brewing Company thing that I found? I put it there. Very fun. Oh, here, somebody fell. Somebody has fallen. Let's put her back. So, that's it. I'm gonna have coffee with my mother when she gets here. And sit in the sun as long as I can stand it, because it's really brutally humid today, which I'm not a big fan of, you know. So that's it, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Right? I'm a baby. My mom says I'm a baby. There's that planter I bought on Memorial Day weekend, remember? See, all this stuff gets everywhere. And see, these leaves everywhere. It's as bad as fall. But that's the flowers in its planter. Very fun. Everything's so green, but it's also covered with those little petals. I mean, I swept everything off of here, and look how much is still on here. It's crazy. I'll blow it later. I'll get the blower when the deck dries a little bit. So that's it. Hi guys, and happy Saturday. I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. It's a beautiful Saturday here, but it's like 86 degrees, seriously humid. But I sat on the deck anyway because it was just so beautiful and peaceful. And it was so quiet today. I guess when the really hot weather comes in, people kind of stay inside in the air conditioning, which is fine by me. When I come inside just to cool down, and it feels really, really good. Because of course I have the central air on because I can't. There's no way to sleep when it's hot like that, you know. So I told you earlier. I showed you around a little bit. Showed you some of the what's going on in the atomic universe, and I told you also that the my favorite thrift store, my local thrift, which was supposed to open June 1st, is now not opening till June 15th. And we were talking about restaurants too. They're supposed to open for outdoor dining on the 15th also. So this morning when we were having our coffee, me and my mother were trying to decide which places had outdoor patios. So we can, you know, choose our first restaurant. But we were saying, probably what's going to happen is it's going to be so busy that you're going to have to wait online just to eat, and it's probably going to be horrible. So we probably won't even attempt that. We'll see what happens. I'd rather eat outside than in. I would never eat inside at this point because you have to take your mask off to eat, right? So how does that work? How would that work, right? I don't see that happening. Desperately waiting for my thrift to open. I'll be really happy about that. Monday, we got an employee communication that Monday there's going to be a protest here in my town, and I'm thinking maybe I'll leave early that day. I might leave early that day to join in. It's the main street. It's on the main street, and it's the way I get to and from work. So I would have to take an alternate route. So maybe if I leave early, because I might want to join in. I'm not sure, but if it gets crazy, that's not my scene at all, My brother sent me pictures the other day of a protest down by his shop. He showed me that Marshall's and Walmart and everything was boarded up because they were just in anticipation. But that protest, it was thousands of people, but it was completely peaceful. So I'm thinking this might be also, because I don't know, but you never know, right? Because Raymond's been dealing with this for 2 weeks now. Violent, crazy protests, and in Columbus, Ohio, downtown Columbus, where he could almost watch them from the window of his building, which is really scary, I think. And these Antifa people, these crazy Antifa people that are coming in and causing the violence, they, I don't know, they're the scary thing, because most of those Antifa people are white, all right? So you have wonderful, peaceful protesters that are black, and then you have these Antifa people inciting violence, and it's so wrong, so very, very wrong. And one of the things that I loved about what Columbus was doing, is they called in the artists to paint the boards that were boarding up the windows. So you have art all over. Columbus is a very art-centric city, and so having the boards painted by the local artists, I think, is so amazing. And I said, I hope they don't destroy the art. I hope they pull the boards off, auction them off, and the proceeds could help the local businesses rebuild. Or maybe the local business wants to keep the art, bring it inside, hang it up as a reminder of this point in time. I mean, there's so many things that you could do with that, and I think it's really, really great that they brought some beauty to the horror. You know what I mean? I'm sick of the state of the world. I'm horrified by the times we live in. I think that it's a really scary time that we live in, and it just isn't a comfortable time. You know what I mean? So, and those Antifa people were saying that they wanted to take it to the suburbs, and that is really scary. And Skeety, being a heavy-duty patriot, you know, he's like ready with the guns. I was like, whatever. I don't know. It's just not a good time. So, enough of that. Absolutely enough of that. I've had enough of all of this. trimmed the wisteria this morning and messed around in the yard all morning, and then I laid in, sat on the deck for a couple hours. It was just really, because it was so quiet today. Once again, the only noise around here in the whole lockdown was Memorial Day weekend. A couple of people made a little bit of noise. It has been so peaceful. I felt like I was in a Zen garden this morning. All I could hear was the birds, and Veggie barking, of course, but but Veggie barks at every sound, every noise, every person, the mailman. It's just, I don't know. I said, look, it's peaceful, Veggie. You're disturbing the peace. Just go to sleep, So I had a message from my friend James. I didn't see it till this morning, but I'm also, he has left Facebook for the time being because he's totally sick of this whole thing. I don't really go on Facebook like ever. Early in the morning I'll take a peek around, maybe post something, but after that I don't look at it again. Last night I watched a phenomenal documentary. When I watch YouTube, I don't watch TV, but I watch YouTube. And there was an incredible documentary about the Roma in Bulgaria. And it was a fascinating documentary. I actually forgot the title. I could probably get it for you if you're interested. But it's about the plight of the gypsies in Bulgaria, but very, very interesting because this guy is activating, for them. Is that how you call it? And I have to say, like, these are people that really don't want to help themselves. It's amazing. So, but it's very, very, very interesting. All right, it's called Welcome Nowhere. Excellent, excellent documentary. Full documentary, about an hour and 20 minutes. Really, really good documentary. I watch a lot of documentaries on YouTube. I watch a lot of true crime. And there is a kid, a little Egyptian guy from New Jersey who actually sets up and catches child predators. And I am absolutely infatuated with the show because I'm really impressed with what he does. And since he's doing it here in New Jersey, now this particular organization is countrywide, but he is exclusively New Jersey, and I'm fascinated by it. It's Predator Poachers New Jersey, and I actually supported them by buying a couple of masks. They have masks with their logo on them, and there's nothing criminally, probably nothing worse than child predators. Disgusting. Not a very uplifting video, is it? But I have some really fun things on the way. I have a beautiful new chair for the front porch. I've wanted one of these for a while. It's a little different from the one I saw in Walmart, the one that I loved, remember? That big egg chair. A little different from that, but very along the same lines. I got a Heisner Troll coming, a vintage Heisner. What else? I got a lounge chair for the son because I just need it. I mean, we're isolated, we're home, we're still on lockdown for the most part. So sitting on the deck is really wonderful right now. Tomorrow, I don't know what we're going to do. We'll have some kind of adventure. I'm still a little wet from the shower. As I was outside all day, and before I came on, I took a shower. Looks like storms might come in because it's so hot. You know how that happens. Beautiful, beautiful day, and then all of a sudden the dark clouds come in. You get a storm and it cools down. I can deal with that. Cooling down would be wonderful because it was really hot today. My mailman was dripping when he came by. Really, really bad. So, I think that's about it. If I do leave early on Monday and either join in the protest or just go over and keep my parents safe, because they're like 4 houses in from the main street. So, like I already told them, do not take the dog for a walk. Do not sit outside, while any of this is happening. It's not supposed to happen till 4 o'clock. So, of course it's going to totally screw up rush hour. But, we'll see. I don't know. Everything, all of this has to end. And what's going to happen when the verdicts come in on those cops? Then everything's going to erupt again if they don't get the right verdict. It's just, the whole thing is out of hand. And COVID played a huge part in this whole thing, because people are locked up, crazy, bored, ready to explode anyway, and this just gave them license to go mental. So, I don't know, we didn't need this at this time. And, I don't know, the world is in a really messed up place. I understand that they reopened the churches for personal, prayer or whatever, personal worship, whatever they want to call it. And I'm really looking forward to getting back in Mount Virgin. So we will do that at some point. My next day off is the 19th. So maybe we'll do it that day. In the background, I think it just ended. That's how long I talked. Whole side of a record. Listening to the exotic sounds of Jerry's son. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Beautiful Exotica on red vinyl. From Dionysus. I got this from Dionysus, of course. Beautiful DionysusRecords.com. So I think that's it for me, guys. I think I've spoken enough for one day. I don't know what we're going to make tomorrow for lunch, but if it's something that we haven't made in the past, I might make it with you. I hope you enjoyed last week's spinach ricotta pie. We were thinking again about enchiladas, but we were going to make them with a white sauce maybe. We'll see. Like I said, I don't know what tomorrow's adventure is going to be, but if it's a fun one, not that there's anything much that we can do right now, except for dollar stores, Aldi, but if somehow we have a strange encounter or adventure, I'll take you along. So anyway, that's about it for me, guys. I hope you're having a magical, mystical, musical Saturday. Comment, subscribe, spread the love. We need love now more than ever before. We really have to put it out there. And I've said this before, but it's just so important because we're falling apart. The world is falling apart. And we have to bring it back together. Tink merch below. Radio Tink podcast below. Another thing, I haven't had time or energy, or I have not been in the right mental state to do podcasts. So hopefully very, very soon we'll get back on track with that. And that's it, guys. I love you all. Have a beautiful, magical weekend.